was delayed by a congregation of Emulsion zealots. I swear each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot. I see Bloodsworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I'd expect from the Flame General's handpicked men. As for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Chrono. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. Yes, I was. I got killed. But let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. What a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I anticipated, even taking the Oldayan interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meteor of yours is too old to give any reading worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find it I'm troubled but that the adventure unexpected a show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that was a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do so as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, if you were a woman in love, I shall need to be on my best behavior. Ah, there you are, Chrono. Come, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Emulja will be less inclined to risk our wrath for a time at least. Now where were we? Ah yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered, but it still ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst all our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Chrono. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning that when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing of the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You meanwhile have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the waking sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss the matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Okay. So, with that being said, now we're going to return back to the waking sands as we were instructed. Okay, here we go. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join them at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. What is this? Dawn wrist guards. Nice. So they kind of boost a lot every attribute. Beautiful. My late arrival nearly cost Chrono his life. I wasn't there when the Emulsia took him prisoner, and I wasn't there when they served him to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle he survived, but that does not excuse the fact that he should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed him utterly, just as I am failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every Chrono, so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Emulsia undertook both the robbery and the abductions, with the aim of summoning their Primal Ifrit. Nor is this tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa Lominsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to their primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume aether if they are to maintain their presence here, and the stronger they become, the more aether they require. Now, aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of aether, crystals. It is for this reason that the incidents involving crystals can often be tracked back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across their great river of aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon towards which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence, as their adherents freely give. And in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering morals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remain unaffected. This is thanks to the power that you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When you first came to us, I told you that the Echo would be an instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. The recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. The immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Chrono. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Why are you looking at me like that? Whether she intended to or no, Menophilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it should be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death. The flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. Why would y'all do that? I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose to but worship. And so the Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Chrono. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the loss of his people suffered. Until next time. They just gotta kill off everybody. I ain't gotta worry about Ungus no more. Gods forgive me. How many more lives? The Swall would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. Wow. Let's pick up the next story mission too over here. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of the many adventurers seeking to make their way in the Eorzea, but for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Yida and Papalimo that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the Primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time, and won fame in doing so. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Chrono, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Miniphilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero to their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Chrono, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's bane for its own. To this end, all three have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go through such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Chrono's deeds spread so quickly. That the immortal flames should know of his triumph is to be expected. But what of the other grand companies? Eep! Your reputation precedes you, Master Ocelot. 'Tis no ordinary man who can face a primal and emerge the victor. And imagine our pride when we learned that you began your journey as an adventurer in our own Gridania. You're the Gridanian one? Okay. Alright, know that the people hold you in high esteem, and that you will always be welcome among us. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant men such as you. Join your strengths to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the Twelves Wood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Master Ocelot. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A man of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you, friend. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa Lominsa to the shores of glory. It's a nice little metaphor you used there. Personally, I know I'm not doing the Immortal Flames because I don't like being an Ul'dah. Lady Miniphilia. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding, mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa Lominsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I can see that it is no small choice you face. Thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I am given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help make you an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You're as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well, let Chrono hear our leader speak, then return here with his decision. We eagerly await your answer. Interesting. I didn't know there was an exit that way. Okay. I know full well that adventurers are, by their nature, a liberty-loving breed, not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a grand company nonetheless. While the promise of a reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Chrono, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet know that the great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one man. In the midst of a grand company, however, you will be one man amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will the danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The grand companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect you'll be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry on this link peril with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Chrono, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now it's time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will appraise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Nice. Okay, so honestly I can tell you for sure that I'm not doing the Grand Company of Ul'dah, just because there are too many people there. That's where it seems to be all the issues end up happening. Whenever I zone, I get kicked out of the game. Well, not whenever, but more often than not. And yeah, so it's either gonna be the Maelstrom, or it's going to be the Order of the Twin Adder of Britannia, just because that's where I came from. Okay, so we will make a decision in a little bit, but I guess now's a perfect place to actually end the video. So on behalf of Chrono and myself, I would like to thank you guys for watching this episode of Final Fantasy XIV Game Time, and we will catch you on the next one. Till then, you take it easy, alright?